Hello everyone, my name is Charlie Schick. By day I work for IBM, by night I'm a Fermentos, a promoter and practitioner of the practical use of microbes. Today I'm going to talk about the Post-Pasteurian Age. But before I tell you what that is, I want to tell you, for historical perspective, the previous two ages. So when we think of the Pre-Pasteurian Age, we think of scary things like plagues, death by simple infection, food poisoning, and poor public safety. So everybody knows the term miasma, right? But it really wasn't that bad. People were actually using microbes for practical purposes, primarily for food preservation. And so people were fermenting things like vegetables, milk, and grain to make foods that were safe and foods that had nutritional values. But then the other thing is, I credit the start of civilization to microbes. The great magic that converts a warm mash of grains into an intoxicating and well-preserved food led people to settle down to make more grain, to make more of this intoxicant, which all of you are enjoying. But along came Pasteur and gang, so there on the upper left is John Snow, who contributed to big portions of our germ theory. And we have these scientists that came up with antimicrobial terms like Pasteur and pasteurization and Lister for Listerization. And that science led to the accidental discovery by Fleming that other bugs can kill bacteria really well, and led us on this path of conquering bugs with antibiotics. But really, we can't deny that we've become healthier. Food safety, public health, antibiotics, vaccines have increased our longevity, increased our health, and reduced deaths from microbes from childhood to old age. But what has that given us? That has given us a world of disinfectants at every turn, on every surface, everywhere, in every process, right? And what kind of world is that? That's a sterile world, right? And in the sterile world, this is not the real cheese, right? And what we've done is we've reduced the biodiversity in our environment, in our foods, and in our bodies, right? So that's the Pasteurian world. And the only things that can survive in this sterile environment are these superbugs that have avoided everything that we could throw at them. And when people know things like MRSA, C. diff, XTB, when non-scientists know that, you know it's serious. And these people know what these bugs do. Not only that, in this sterile world that we've created, there's an idea that maybe we've made our immune system not have anything to fight against. So it's turning against ourselves and causing the rise in allergies. But then again, it's not so bad, right? So we are now entering a post-Pasteurian age, an age where we're understanding microbes much better through biology, through science, through technology. And the term post-Pasteurian age comes from anthropologist at MIT, Heather Paxton, who I got it from a paper where she wrote about the US politics of raw milk cheese. And I can't talk about bugs in food without talking about this phenomenal book that goes way beyond the typical beer and sauerkraut and yogurt. You got to go read it if you really love fermenting things. But you know that microbes have really become big when you start seeing probiotics on the shelf, right? And the thing is, the idea is that these probiotics are getting good bugs to compete with the bad bugs. But look, we got vaginal suppositories, we have mouthwashes. How long until we have arm salves and acne creams? And I play with this, so what you see on the right is a beer that I made using probiotic yeast, and on the left is a probiotic yogurt that I made. If you want to know, the beer was delicious, the yogurt sucked. The other cool thing is that now we're starting to sequence bugs everywhere, in our environment and most importantly in our body. And so the Human Microbiome Project's about that. And what we're trying to understand is how bugs relate to diseases. And so that can lead to bacterial cures. And we're learning, we're understanding how we should be treating people. And for example, in bowel transplants, they're finding out just leaving the bugs from the donor in the bowel leads to better outcomes. Or for example, my favorite is C. diff, which is a hospital-acquired infection, usually from people who get it after taking antibiotics. There's really no good antibiotics anymore to help these people. And so what's happening is scientists are now starting to understand C. diff's ecology within the body and how to create new therapies using bugs. And they're now characterizing what bugs could be used. And one of the key things that you need to learn today is transfaunation, which is actually transferring poop from a good person to a sick person. And so I'm really excited this age of microbes for food, for products, for health. And don't be passive in this. Go out and ferment something. Thank you.
All right.